Right, so where we left off yesterday, obviously you can see we were trying to do a bunch of this stuff, but then I woke up this morning and it instantly hit me that I've just been so ridiculous this entire time because the other person that I was learning from makes things so unnecessarily complicated, in my opinion. That statement could come to bite me in the ass because, again, this person has multiple years on me. But the fact that they didn't include leverage, when they did include leverage, they didn't use liquidation. All of these problems. The thing here that I'm realizing is that all I have to do is keep track of the trade P&L, and then when the trade gets closed out, well, no, every single time I take profit or loss, I just add that to my equity, right? Or I just keep a running tally of the trade P&L until the trade is closed, and then I add that. But yeah, it just, because then I also, with what I'm realizing is that the borrowed cash is always just going to be borrowed cash minus borrowed cash times percent decrease, position decrease percent. And it's going to be the same thing for the new used cash. It's going to be used cash times used cash times the position decrease percent. Because that's how much used cash, the position decides how much used cash I have in the game. And so, but I think actually, there might be something else with this used cash thing. Because what happens if I make like $50, but I only did half for the wait a minute. Well, the used cash, I don't understand. But the most important part is going to be this trade P. Now, all I do is just add. And also, one of the other things here is that the way Bybit does their fees is that they apply a fee. They take the size and then they apply the fee to this. Then they take the size and they apply the fee to this. So overall, that makes sense because even if you're taking like half of your profit, or 1/4 of your profit, it's just 1/4 of this, 1/4 of this. But the only other problem is that it doesn't actually come out to be exactly 2 times the leverage. I mean 2 times. So the fees can get a little bit weird that way. But I think having that at the very bottom, where is it? Having this at the very bottom kind of works. But this doesn't. This really doesn't work though because it's fees and then you have to add in the price. Let me show you. Actually, I have the websites right here. So here we can see that it's this. Realized P&L. So it's your position times your entry times your exit for shorting. Entry times your exit. Then the fee to open is your quantity times your entry times this. And then to close, it's the quantity times your exit times this. So, you know, if you're getting stopped out, it might actually be even more. And so, because it would be, if you're getting stopped out, it would be like, if this was a short position, it'd be 6,000 and then it'd be 7,000. So you'd actually end up more. with the sum of the fees. So you'd have to really hope that you take profit because that's less fees. So yeah, I guess it's like the way I have it set up is that you would actually end up wait, what? Here, you would actually end up making more money if you took profit. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I think it'd be like something like that. I think you'd make more money. So here it would have to be size times the, well, let's do the math first. So here the fees would be size times 1 divided by the entry, which would be 6,000, times 0.0006, and then we just add 2 zeros like this. Whoops. Size is not defined. Oh, wait a minute. It would be 0.3 times 6,000. What? What? 0.3 Bitcoin? If you were to buy 0.3 Bitcoin at 6,000, that's 1,800. 1,800. How is this not... What? Look. Fee to open. 0.3 times 6,000 is $1 USDT. So that should be this. Because we have our size, because down here, that's what we were doing. Right? Ah, there we go. Well, then what the hell is the point of doing 1 over 6,000? What? You have to do it like that? That's weird. I wonder if I did 6,000 times this. But if I did this times 6,000 times this, all that is just 1. This is just 1 right here. Okay. Wait, what? So does that mean that this is just 1? And this is stop loss price over average entry? And this is negative. This is minus 1, and this is 1. Yeah, I think that's the same thing. Wait a minute. This would be this. The size times this? Wait a minute. So let's try to do the math for this. So we'd have 18,000 times 6,000 minus 5,000. So if we did 1 divided by this, 1 divided by this, times 6,000. Why is it negative 360? Why is it negative? How is this negative? 1 over 6,000 divided by 1 over 5,000? Wait, how is this? This should be a take profit. What? This is getting pretty weird. But if I do it like this... What? So this is a short. That's so weird. Because this example right here is the short position. The exiting price of 5,000. But I just realized that here, 1 over 5,000 is bigger than 1 over 6,000. So in order to get rid of the negative, you do this. So if I were to have gotten stopped out at 7,000, it would be this. Versus if I did 0.3 times 6,000 minus 7,000. What? This is 6,000 and this is 7,000. What? Oh. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. Well. How the hell was I getting the right answers? See, all this shit, man. It doesn't make any sense. So let's do the same thing here. So we have the size is 18,000. The average entry is 6,000. Okay, the leverage is going to be 10. So my used cash is... size divided by 10. Equity minus size divided by 10. Wait, what? 18,000... Or 1,800 divided by 10. 180. I can't do that. Let's give myself $1,000. Okay. So how did I use 820? 1,800 divided by 10. Oh, this is how much I'm borrowing. And this is used cash. There we go. Right? So I'm using 180 of my dollars. What? Yeah. I'm using 180 of my dollars. So equity minus how much I'm using is how much I'm borrowing. And equity minus borrowing is how much I'm using. Well, I don't even need to do that. That doesn't make any sense. Because then we just do use cash is size divided by leverage. And then we just do equity minus used. Yeah. So we change this to 5. We change this to 1. It's impossible. 2. Uh, 180 divided by 2 is 900. So we've got to borrow $100. We're using 900 of our dollars. Is that the way it works? Divided by 2. That doesn't make any sense. I'm borrowing $900. So this should be I'm borrowing 900 and I'm also using 900. Shouldn't it be size minus used cash? Because if it's size minus used cash, then... So, some weird stuff is happening over here. So I have my isolated set at 1. And then I have my long setup. I got $88 in here. So the most that I can do is an $87 position size. But I guess that has to do with the fact of this. So if I go to 100x leverage, and I go to 100, the most I can do is this. But I think it's also... I feel like it's got to be factoring in fees and stuff. Because this number has now changed because it's this. It's like this is the most I can do for whatever this Bitcoin amount is at this price is this. And I think when you add in the fees and stuff, I guess. Because if I tried to go higher, it would cost me 88.55. Yeah, so that's the highest that I can go. So what is this? 21900. 91.1 times 0.361. Yeah. So if I did 21896 times 0.362, well, maybe it's changed now. Price. I'm still trying to figure out why this is a thing. So here at this price, with this, I get a cost of this with 100x leverage, and the value is this. So if I'm at 100x leverage and my cost is this, how is it not just 100 times this? I feel like there's fees and maintenance margin and all this other stuff that it's talking about. It has to be. So I just placed the order. My liquidation price is right here. It says I'm 100x. $83. I've got 19 cents left. So I like the way it has this available balance instead of free cash. Available balance. My equity. Why? I have seven. I lost $10 with that. Yeah, there has to be something with the fees. It's just the part that I don't understand. 7778. The cost would be this much. The value would be this much. How is that even close to being possible? I'm missing like $1,000 here. But I lost $10 worth of in fees. So how does this thing calculate this? Oh, does it calculate it? How? Look at that. I lost almost $10 again. So if we say that so if we look here, we have our entry price, our exit price. Then we have to get the we have to do these fees, right? So we have our fee to open, quantity times entry price times this. So let's do that. So we had our 0.36. So size equals 0.36. Entry equals 21922. Exit equals 21918.5. Fees equals 0.0006. All right, so let's see if we get $10.72. So that would be, it says here, we do size times entry times fees. Open fee. Open, close equals size times exit fees. Open plus close. $9.09. And then we also have to do the close P&L, which is trade P&L equals size times entry minus exit. What? So P&L minus of funding fees. There's funding fees? How much are my funding fees? It says here, sum of funding fees. What are the fees right now? Where do I find out what the funding fees are? Living Valentine's funding rate. Where is the funding rate? The current daily USDT interest is this, and 0.3 for underlying asset interest. Fund rate intervals is 3 once every 8 hours. The current rate is 0.01. I swear I remember seeing like a funding fee. Funding. Oh, funding is here. Funding fees is position value times funding rate. Position value times funding rate is 0.01. Sum of all funding fees paid divided by received. Sum of funding fees is 1.0, so let's try to see if we can get that. Wait, where was I doing this math at? Where was my... I was just doing this math. Oh my god. I swear to God, I was just doing this math. Yeah, my hair stinks so much. Anyway, let's do this. Oh, okay, that's what this is. So, funding equals 0.0100. So then, funding fees paid equals, what is it? They said it is okay, so here we're able to get the same number as on this. So now the problem still remains, which is for a long position, we have our contract size, we have our entry, we have our exit. So it has to be exit minus entry. There are no funding fees. There we go. So that's the same as what I'm seeing. So yeah, it's the fees. But then the question becomes, how does they still come up with... I still don't understand how it gets the cost, because it has no idea what it has no idea when I'm going to exit. So how does it have its cost? How is the cost not just instantly? it's always at like 89 leverage or something like that. Because if I do 6173.57 divided by 69.7, it's always this 89.3333333 whatever. It's never 100. But when I change this to 89, and I change this to 89, if we do 100, it goes down. So then if I do the calculation for this, 55.8.03 divided by 69.082, it's 80. If I do 5, $329.35 divided by 66.2268. It's close to 5. So it's like I'm not sure where it's. Why is it not just the thing? Let's try that over here. So we're getting close. The value is 329.56 and the cost is 68. And over here we have 32932 66.227. I'm just now realizing this too. How the hell does size divided by leverage? This is 0.003. The cost would be that much? So if I increase this to 50, what? Oh, wait a minute. Size is 1.8. $37.50. $33.50. This leverage is 50. The cost should be 68.7796. So I'm constantly able to get this value correct. It's size times average entry. Okay, that makes sense. But now the cost says it's $69 and this, but yet the actual real cost, according to Bybit, is $65.91. How is it getting this cost? It says here Order cost equals initial margin plus taker fee to open plus taker fee to close. P&L calculation. Quantity times 1 divided by, oh. Inverse contracting here. Order cost. Oh, wow. Tells you all this stuff. Oh, this is where the answers here. Order cost is initial margin plus two-way taker fee, fee to open, fee to close. So, let's come back over here. And the cost is initial margin. What? It says here, a trader places a limit order at 10,000 for 10,000 BTC USD contract at 6.4 whatever using 25x leverage. So it's 4%. So I guess it's divided by 4. What? So let's go over here and see if we can make that happen. All right, so some developments here. So I'm realizing that in order to get the fee to close, you need to get the liquidation price. And that's where they're getting this from, right here. So you have to get the liquidation price, and then that's the fee to close. Okay. We're on to something. We're close. We're close. And here we have the bankruptcy price, which is entry price times leverage over leverage plus 1. Okay. So I'm going to have to go in and change a lot of math. A lot of math. Also, I'm realizing that I'm doing this for the inverse perpetuals. So I need to actually go over USD value initial margins value by leverage. Fee to open position. Order price? What the fuck is this about? Oh. Hmm? Oh. Oh shit, I'm still recording. Uh-oh, we have a really big problem here. Entry price times 1 minus 1 1 divided by leverage. You have the bankruptcy price that is completely different everywhere. Look at this. So for USDT contract, for buy, bankruptcy price is entry price times 1 minus initial margin rate. Here, it says bankruptcy price for a long is order price times 1 minus leverage divided by leverage. 1 minus leverage divided by leverage. So it'd be 1 minus 1 divided by leverage right here. 1 minus, then 1 over leverage. What? I guess that makes sense. Because then it would be leverage over leverage minus 1 over leverage. So it would just be 1 minus 1 over leverage. 1 minus 1 over leverage. So that makes sense. So that's what we have here. 1. So we have our order price times 1 minus 1. Our leverage minus 1 over leverage. Right? Adding any of these parentheses right here doesn't do anything. We still have our thing right here. 45,000. Right? Okay. So this makes sense. But now we come over to inverse contracts. And it says bankruptcy price is entry price times leverage divided by leverage plus 1. What? So here we have the order cost. So how do you have... You have average entry price times leverage divided by leverage plus 1. How in the world is this different? Why? Because if I do that here, then I get this for a long. It even says it right here. So this right here has nothing to do with whether you are in a position that has the position sizing of BTC or USDT. That has nothing to do with this. So therefore, this should not change. 10,000 times 1 minus 2%. This was 10622. 10622. How the hell are these things different? 1 divided by leverage plus 1? Even if I come over here and I do it the way they're doing it here, order price times leverage divided by leverage plus 1, I still get... That's not the same thing. So let's see here. If we have a leverage of 10, let's see what the liquidation price says. So we have a leverage of 10, quantity of 1, entry price of 5,000, or 50,000. What? What? This is completely fucked. I'm getting 3 different answers. So if I have isolated long 10x leverage, it says leverage is 10, quantity is 1, entry price is 50,000, the liquidation price is 45250. If I come over here, I have my quantity size is 1, my order price is 50,000, my leverage is 10. According to this, it's order price times leverage minus 1 divided by leverage. The liquidation price is 4,500. Or I can do it the other way, which is order price times leverage divided by leverage plus 1, which is 454545454545. Both of those answers are not this. What the fuck is liquidation price versus bankruptcy price? This is liquidation price. What the fuck is the difference between a bankruptcy price? You have lost your initial margin. Upon the liquidation position will be closed at bankruptcy price, and this means that you will have lost all the position margin. If the liquidated position has its final liquidation price better than bankruptcy price, the excess margin will be contributed to the insurance fund. Vice versa, the liquidated position has its final liquidation price worse than the bankruptcy price, the insurance fund will cover the loss gap. What is the difference between a bankruptcy price and liquidation price? What the hell is the difference between liquidation and bankruptcy price? How liquidation order is executed. Liquidation price versus bankruptcy price. Liquidation price is the price at which a position will start going into liquidation. There are several factors that can influence the threshold, including the leverage mode, the maintenance margin, and crypto price. Bankruptcy price is the price at which the trader's losses become equivalent to the collateral value deposited or the initial margin. It's the point at which the margin balance of the liquidated user will equal to 0. What the fuck does this mean? What the hell is the difference? What? What the hell is the difference? So we have the liquidation price. Entry price. All right, so here we also have two different ways of calculating liquidation price. And then here we have liquidation price. So entry price times 1 minus the initial margin rate plus maintenance margin rate. Here, it's average entry price divided by 1 plus initial margin rate minus 1. All right, well, let's try both of these. What the hell is going on here? This is so confusing. So we have our average entry price is order price divided by 1 plus IM. What? Which is just 1 divided by leverage. IM is 1 divided by leverage. Wait, what? Why is this size times order price? What? What the hell? It says initial margin is order price times order quantity divided by leverage. That's for USDT contract. It says for USD contract, initial margin rate is the 1 divided by leverage. Initial margin, order price times order quantity divided by leverage. Ah, what? What? Oh my god. Initial margin is contract size times entry price divided by leverage. That's this. Liquidation price says initial margin rate. Oh, initial margin versus initial margin rate. Oh, so this is a maintenance margin rate. Is based on tiered margin. So the rate versus the initial margin. Okay. And then so for the inverse side of things, Damn, who would have thought this was so confusing? So initial margin. To calculate the initial margin, the system will take the contract quantity divided by order price times leverage. So for USDT, it's contract size times entry price divided by leverage. For inverse, it's contract size divided by order price times leverage. Let's see if we can come up with the same initial margin. So let's see here. We have a, to calculate the initial margin, take the contract quantity divided by order price times leverage. So let's see what that looks like. The initial margin rate depends on the leverage used. Assume you're using 100x leverage from, you only invest 1 BTC as your initial margin. To check your initial margin rate, a trader buys 12,000 contracts divided by at the price of 8,000 times 50x leverage. Gives you 0.3 BTC times 8,000. That's $240. Okay? So now here we have contract size of it says here the trader places a long entry of 1 BTC at 10,000 with 50x leverage. Initial margin is 1 times 1,000, which is 10,000 divided by 50. So in this situation, let's say a trader buys 12,000 BTC contracts at 8,000 USD. So he bought 12,000 divided by 8,000. He bought 1.5 Bitcoin. So if he did 1.5 Bitcoin times 8,000 divided by 50. Okay, so this makes sense. So initial margin works. It just depends on... So if I'm doing USDT value only, then I bought 12,000. I put in a position size of 12,000 at 8,000 with a leverage of 50. That's how I get this. So my initial margin... Okay. I think what's making this so confusing is that I'm trying to just do USDT all the way through. So, according to this, I should only be looking at inverse contracts. Because this way is USDT. which I would have to do 1 point. So I would have to do 12,000 divided by 8,000. Gives me 1.5. Times 800. So here I would have to do 12,000 divided by 8,000. Times 8,000 divided by 50 gives me my initial margin. Oh boy. So I guess that's where this bankruptcy price comes into play. Why they are different. But that still doesn't really make any sense though, because all we're dealing with is entry price times 1 minus initial margin rate. Which the bankruptcy is different. Why is the bankruptcy different? It makes no sense. So liquidation price makes sense. Bankruptcy price does not make sense. So I guess for me, I have to decide, am I going to use inverse contract calculations, or am I going to use USDT calculations? I don't know which one is the correct one. One, fee to close, order quantity. 1, bankruptcy price 50,000 times this. Taker fee is this. So here, bankruptcy price is order price times 25 divided by this. Gives you this. I guess if I'm going to be trading BTC USDT, all I really need to do is figure out how to get, if I can get this cost calculated, then I know which bankruptcy price to use. That's basically how it works. So let's see if we can do that real fast before I have to go. So oh, whoops. So my initial margin has to be the USD value divided by order price times leverage. All right. That's what I'm doing here. I have my USD times order price. Okay, so that's what that is. Fees to open. Oh man. So well, I have this here, and I need to be able to match this. So I'm putting in an order value of 6,172 this, and I need to get the cost to come up with that. So that's what I am going to do. So I'm going to say, come back over here. I'm going to say I have my equity, I have my available balance, I have my size, which is 6172376. Wait a minute. 2250. Shit. 2250. Okay. 4550. 4550. 4550. 45. Fuck. 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 22042. So it was 6171.76. And the cost was 69.0867. Value. Okay, so let's do this. At, wait, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41. So price is this. Value is this. Cost is this. So this is the value. Oh shit. 1950, 1950, 1850, 15, 15, 50. Oh fuck. The price keeps changing. 1450. 1450, 1450, 1450, 1450, 1450. 1450. Order value is 6164.06. The cost is 69.0005. So my size is this. My price is this. My leverage is 100. Okay, so my USD value is this. My initial margin is USD value divided by this. So my initial margin is 61. Is that right? Has to be right. USD value. This? Well, we shall see. USD value initial margin is this. It's USD value. Whoops. Why is this not? USD value, USD value. So we have our USD value, our initial margin, our free open, our liquidation price, which is not true. Oh, it is true. Is that what our liquidation price is? So our leverage is 1,100. Our quantity, our entry price is 22014.50. And our quantity is 0.28. That is incorrect. Because our quantity is 6164.06 divided by our entry 2204.5. Yeah, it's 0.28. So it says that our liquidation price should be 21,904. 21,904. Oh no, this is bankruptcy. Okay, yeah, no, of course. So our entry price divided by 1 plus IM minus 0.005. Is that right? Order price divided by 1 plus initial margin. Why is my initial margin so high? Oh, initial margin rate. 1 divided by leverage. I keep forgetting about that. IMR equals 1 divided by leverage. IMR, and this is MMR. MMR equals 0.005. All right. There we go. And then fee to close is this. Oh shit, I actually got it. I got it. 69. Oh shit, 69.5 if we round it up. Damn. We got it. We got it. We got it, boys. So now what the hell does this mean? I don't know. I do not know. What do we do now? Well, it's time for me to go take a break, so this works out. But all right. I wonder if we did the fees closed thing a different way, what would happen? So let's try the order cost for the inverse contracts. So it says fees closed inverse. So this is fees closed inverse, this is fees closed. This is fees closed USDT. USDT. So fee closed USDT, fees closed inverse. And then here it'll be cost USDT, cost inverse. So let's just put this here. This. And then fees closed USDT. And this is this. All right, so we have our USDT. So the inverse says quantity of contracts divided by bankruptcy price. So it would be USD value times leverage divided by leverage plus 1. Then I'd have to multiply all of that by, because that gives me the Bitcoin value. So then I have to multiply all of that by order price. Cost this, and then we have cost USDT. What is this? Something is fucked up here. The USD value times leverage divided by leverage plus 1. What does this give you? Wait, what? Bankruptcy. Oh, average entry times leverage. Okay, I'm sorry. Average entry is this. What? Average entry? Wait. Average entry times leverage divided by leverage plus 1 gives you this. Then fees to close is quantity of contracts divided by bankruptcy derived times taker fee. So fees to close is is what? Fees to close is USD value. Oh, wait, no, wait, what? What am I doing? Okay, this works. So I'm here on fees to close inverse contract. Okay, so we are here. Fees to close is the value USD value times divided by divided by this which is order price times leverage. USD value times this, or divided by this, times fee. That gives you the Bitcoin value times order price. It's close. So we have USD value. So fee to close is, it says here, fee to close is quantity of contracts divided by bankruptcy price derived from order price times taker fee. So we have our USD value divided by what here it says order price times leverage, order price times leverage divided by 25 leverage plus 1. So you do all of that and you multiply it by the fee, which is this. And then in order to get the USD value of that, we have to do the order price, which it's a little bit off compared. And then here we would do the cost is the initial margin. Maybe they do initial margin differently too. Yeah, I think they do initial margin different as well. I think they do all of it differently. Let's so then let's say that this is this is USDT. This is USDT. No, that's going to be the same. Fees to open USDT, liquidation price, USDT. I don't need this cash borrowed stuff yet. So we got this, this. And then from here, we'll change this to inverse Inverse. 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 So this is gonna be deleted. This will be deleted. This will be deleted. This will be deleted. Unless they do their initial margin differently as well for the inverse. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to go back through and follow the USDT contract and do all of their calculations. Right? I'll do all their calculations. Boy, oh boy. Print. USD value. So say equals. So then we'll come to the end of this. I will say this is this. 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 Okay, so let's just 5, 5, 5, 5. Does this work? Okay. Alrighty. Oh. What? Why is there a why is there a space there? Why is there a space there? That's so weird. Okay. Hash in. Hash in. Slash in. Slash in. Holy shit. So our USD value is... We don't need USD value. Whoops. So what we will do when we get back is we're going to follow the USDT here. And then we're going to follow, this is going to be the inverse. Inverse contract. Okay. That is what we will do. That is what we will do. And then we will be able to figure out what is going on here. Because I'm trying to figure out now, it's like, with this whole order cost thing, when the fact that it's factoring in the fees, I don't know how that is going to work with me. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. So I'm just now realizing that I should just go ahead and use USDT because that's what I'm going to be using regardless when I'm trading. It's going to be BTC USDT, number one. And number two, it looks like I don't have to actually change anything into USDT. Like here, I just give it the value, I give it the value, I give it, I have this value here. Whereas I'm just now realize, oh, whoops. Like here, I have to give it I just give it the value, I just give it the USD value, I give it the USD value, all of that, and everything works out perfect. I mean, the numbers are absolutely perfect. Liquidation price, cost USDT, all that stuff. But if I go over here and I start using the inverse, then everything is given to you in Bitcoin, and then you have to multiply that. You have to multiply everything by order price. So if I'm just using USDT, then liquidation price, P&L calculations. Let's see. So total quantity of contracts, average entry, unrealized. Yeah, so here it's giving you the value in USDT. Here it's giving you the value of USDT. So contract quantity times. So I think this is the only one where maybe I need to use the inverse. P&L calculations. Oh no, this gives you BTC prices. So here for the P&L calculations, 0.4 times. Well, I'm not there yet, but oh yeah, here unrealized P&L is your quantity. So this is 6,000 whatever at 1 divided by this, at 1 divided by this. Then I have to multiply this by the last traded price, and then that will give me my USDT value. Versus this, I would have to do this times this times this. I think all I'd have to do is just do USD value divided by order price to get this, and then give it my prices, and then it would give me this. Yeah. So actually, yeah, I probably just keep using this. Because Yep. So quantity times entry price. So that's just the USD value. And this is the USDT value. So yeah. So I'm going to use this. The only thing I have to do here is just divide by the order price. So that works. So, but let's just see. Let's just go through the, what is this? An initial margin here. So this would be 12,000 contracts at 8,000. So I would just basically do this and then I'd multiply the answer by the order price. So let's do that. So the initial margin would be USD value. And then we would say initial margin is USD value divided by order price times leverage. And then here the order cost inverse order cost. So we come down here. So the fee to open is quantity of contracts divided by bankruptcy price derived from order. So that would be 640. So order price. Oh. So fee to open. Fee to open is 400 divided by 640. Why am I doing this? So here it would be USD value divided by order price. That gives you your BTC times fee. Did I times the fee? Oh, why didn't I just put fee here? Okay. So here, times the fee, then we have to times order price. Then the liquidation price for inverse contracts is the order price divided by 1 plus IMR minus MMR. Okay. Then the fee to close is USD value divided by order price times leverage divided by leverage plus 1. Times fee. Okay, liquidation price is right. Initial margin should be 61. USD value divided by order price. USD value divided by order price times 4. Wait. What? What? Wait a minute. Look at this. Inverse contract. Initial margin is 10,000 divided by 640 times the leverage. Here, it's this divided by this times the leverage. The initial margin rate depends on the leverage used, assuming you are using For example, a trader buys this. Wait, what? Initial margin. But initial margin rate is different. One of over 50 is two. What? 1 divided by 50. That's 2%. So initial margin is not initial margin rate. So here we're not doing initial margin rate. Initial margin? Oh, I think I have to multiply it by the order price. Oh yeah, never mind. I forgot. Yeah, so here everything I've got to multiply by the order price, whereas down here it's just you give it the USDT value. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be going with USDT calculations. So this is 6164. This is 6164. This is fee to open is 36889. These are, and this is more accurate too. Okay, so the fee to close is this times order price. So yeah, all of this stuff is for the inverse is very close for whatever reason, but it's not like this. And so now what we need to do is go over to the USDT and we need to look at P&L calculations, because now I'm also realizing like all I have to do is just keep track. I think that the borrowed cash and the cash used always just need to be divided by the percentage change of how much I closed out of my position. I think something like that. So if I close out 1/4 of my position, then it's just free cash. It's just cash used minus cash used times the percentage change, and then that's why if I do 100%, well then all it is just the free cash minus the free cash, and the borrowed cash minus the borrowed cash. And so that has nothing to do with the trade P&L. So the trade P&L, every single time something happens, just gets added to the equity. That's it. I think that's it. I think that's the way it works. Okay, so so we've got this. So this all works. And I don't know how I am going to apply this to this part right here. I think if it's a long entry or a short entry, then size equals I have to figure out a way to get this USDT value. A second. Also, I'm just now noticing something. If this is true, how to calculate your P&L, then you actually only get charged once you close your position. So before I do anything, there is no fee. I mean, you could, but I guess when you're doing it from the computer, like if you're doing a back test, you shouldn't put any fees on you, just opening the position, because here, in order to, like, if you were to close the position, you would just do your position, your quantity times this, then your quantity times this. And so that would be your open of the position and your close of the position. And even if you keep adding on and adding on and adding on and adding on, all you do is just take your average entry and multiply that, multiply this by your average entry, multiply this by your exit, and then you would get your fee. So your fee would be this times your average entry, then this times your exit, and those would be your fees. So in actuality, doing all of this shit doesn't really matter until doing any coding with fees or anything about fees should not happen until you get to the very end of taking profit or closing out the position. Because again, that's where having, like, taking partial profit and all this other stuff, that's where you run into your issues, is with your fees and stuff like that. And so because somehow I would have to or I could do the fee at the very beginning, and then just in this realized P&L, just remove this fee to open, and then just do a fee to close. And then at the very, well, yeah, I think I'd rather just do all of this at the end, because then that would give me, so now I have to figure out, okay, how do I use this information to figure out how much I would lose? Well, if I have my stop loss, well, if I have multiple stop losses, well, I guess that's the other part too, is if I have multiple take profits and multiple stop losses, I still have to do it here. So I shouldn't apply, I guess what I would have to do, because now if I only want to risk, like, losing $1 and I have multiple stop losses, I would have to get the average entry of all of those. I'd have to get the average entry of all of my stop losses and put that here. And then I would have to do the average entry and then the exit. And then apply all the fees. And then when I get that number, whatever this number is, that's how much my size needs to be. So yeah, that makes all that makes sense. So yeah, all of this stuff, all of this size stuff with fees and shit, this needs to go away. I think messing around with this size, no. Here, I think maybe here, if I want to risk $1, the size equals size divided by this times this. I have to look at this. Because what I think is happening with this order cost is that it's actually not, So the order cost is the total margin needed to open a particular position. The actual fee/charges received depends on order type, how the order will be executed, market order. So this is just like an estimate. So this is like, this order cost is worst case scenario if you either get bankrupt. So it's like so this order cost is basically saving the exchange. It seems like it's saving the exchange from possibly, if you get liquidated, you will need to be able to pay up everything so that way your account can basically go to zero. Because if they didn't have this check, then yeah, because it says you will be able to see the order cost and order confirmation. The order cost is the total margin needed to open a particular position. So let's see, order cost. I'm not even sharing the right fucking screen, but don't matter. Ain't nobody watching this shit right now. Order cost. Private supports placing and then custom. Please note the following. Currently only USD order by cost is not supported once upgraded. Only order by calculated order cost entered by traders will be used to calculate the initial margin required as well as the taker fees for opening and closing positions based on the direction along shore the formula used to calculate. Yeah. So I think order cost is just a protection of like, this is the maximum size that you can. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe that's what this is for. For the math side of things, like this. If I have equity, if I have this much equity, then that means that my maximum position size can be like, but I guess it depends on, I guess it also depends at the price as well. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I still don't think. Oh yeah, I have to think about this. All right, so we were able to recreate this right here, except this is for shorting. And so now with this information, what we can do is we can do our entry, then we can say our stop loss, right, is going to be entry minus entry times 0.0. Stop loss percent equals 1. So here we'll do entry stop loss percent 100. Then we will change this. Right. So the long P&L would be negative minus a negative minus a negative would give me this. Oh yeah, wait a minute. So I want the risk. So my equity is 500, 1,000. So my equity is 1,000. My entry is 5,000. I want a stop loss of 1%. I want to risk 1% of my... How do I do this? Okay, so what we have here now is a situation where I'm saying that I want to risk 1% of my account, and I want a 2% stop loss, and I want to lose $10 at that 2%. So here, if we did 1% of 1,000 is 10, so my account at risk is 10. So that means my USD size with if I get stopped out at 2%, I would have to have a position size of 500 to lose $10. So here we can see that the realized P&L for this would be negative $10.59. So we want to be able to remove this 59 cents and just get it to $10. So we have to be able to change the size based on this information here. And so I think what we need to do is subtract the open and close fee. And I'm not exactly sure how we would do that without getting the... So we'd have to put that here. So I've got to do that math. So it seems that just by removing the fees and then creating a... so the entry... So this is the initial entry needed. Then if we removed the fees, which was like 50 cents or something like that, then we threw that new thing into this whole thing and got the realized P&L, then we still lose just a little bit less. And that's because the fees are still like 29 cents. So I'm not sure if this is even possible, because basically what I'm asking for is like a position size with basically no fees. What the hell would the position size actually need to be? Let me figure out, like, what is it? 450? $60. Yeah, it'd have to be 472. I'm not 100% sure. How do you get that? Yeah, how do you get that? Because you can't, obviously, you can't just subtract the fees. I gotta think about this. Well, basically, here's the formula. You have 10, negative 10 equals S divided by E minus S divided by E times F minus S divided by E times stop loss price times F. So now all I have to do is figure out, how do I get S by itself? I have no idea. So this would be S times E times F over E. I have to write this. I'm gonna have to write this out. So I did it. Wow, this is insane. I am so glad. This is making me want to go and study the shit out of algebra again. I'm gonna have to make sure that I do algebra at least one if not 2 hours a day, and or just go to websites and just solve random algebra problems, because yeah, this is saving my fucking life. Literally doing that is saving. I would literally not be able to do this if I did not study algebra. And so here to get the realized P&L, let's just take this formula minus this formula minus this formula. And so we have this, we don't need the coin size. So the coin size is just the US, anyways. So here we have the size. We don't have the size, but and we have everything else. And we have, this is the account at risk. Right? So this is $10 that we are risking. So now we have this, we don't have the size. And so what we do here is, I have this all written down on paper. But what it comes out to be is that you have, oh man, how do I explain this? I'd have to do that math language thing. But just understand that here we would have, this is a stop loss price minus E. So if we multiply these together, you have S times stop loss price minus S times E over E. So the E's cancel, and you're basically left with stop loss price over E minus 1. Well, basically also here, if we divide this side by S, this by S, and this by S, and this by S, then we'll get 10 over S, and then all of the S's would just leave and they turn into 1s. So this would leave, this would leave, this would leave. So here we would have stop loss price over E minus 1, because you'd have stop loss price over E minus E over E, which is 1. So that's where you get this stop loss price over E minus 1. Then here the S would be dropped because we divided by and got rid of it. And then the E's would drop because this is just basically S times E times F over E. So the S is gone and then the E is gone because those cancel. So this is just minus F. And then here, I can't believe I actually know this. This is fucking crazy. Then here the S is gone, so we just have stop loss price times the fee over E. So that's what you get here: stop loss price times F divided by E. And then here, in order to get S by itself, what you would now do is you would multiply S on both sides. So here, instead of it being, it would basically be this. So it'd be this times S equals negative 10. Well, now all you have to do is just divide this whole chunk by 10. So you divide and then you do that, and now you have S by itself, which is basically this. New USD size equals negative account at risk this. And that's how you get this number right here. Because I messed up and I put this as S, so I thought that this was the size, and I should have labeled this as USD. And I was looking at this and I realized, no, this is not S, this is stop loss price. And so boom. So now we have this, which is this, and then when I plugged that number into here, I got the, anyways, so let's put this formula here, up here, boom, and now we do not need, do we need coin size? I think we do need coin size still. So coin size equals USD size divided by entry. And look at that. Boom, bam, and boom. That's fucking crazy. That is nuts. That is beyond nuts. So you have negative this, which gives you this. Oh my god, that is crazy. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I cannot believe it. I really cannot believe this. I cannot believe I have to study the shit out of algebra and algebra 1. Algebra 1 and algebra 2. Yeah, so I'm looking at all of the math stuff that I have. I've got some algebra courses. I've got that like becoming a algebra master. I've done that already. Become a linear algebra master. I haven't done that. That's just all about matrix and stuff like that, which I'm not there yet. But once I start to get into doing the multiple stop loss and multiple take profits, I'll have to understand that a little bit more. But yeah. So I've already watched the becoming a okay, so yeah, I have linear algebra, become an algebra master. Linear algebra, master algebra, solving equations and inequalities, algebra 1, mastering algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2. So, yeah. What is this? Become an algebra master? What the fuck? Did I see that? Oh, yeah, I have seen that. But I need to watch it again. So, math, algebra, searching. Yeah, so I need to watch Become an Algebra Math. I've already seen that. So what I need to do is watch Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Mastering Algebra, Algebra 1, and yeah. And wow, yeah. 100% needs to do that. Needs to do that. Because this is or I just keep doing this. Wow. I just ran into an issue though, is that if you're trying to if you need an average entry, then you might be a little bit screwed here because in order to get an average entry, you need the quantity. So, all right, I don't know where we left off, but I think I showed this. We got this. Then I decided to try to figure out how to get it to do the average entry. But then I realized as I was changing the entry that the entry doesn't seem to matter at all. So this has the entry. And then if we do this, we do 1,000% risk 1. Let's just define fee. Let's define fee. So let's get the same answer up here, which is 2% stop loss. And so what happens if we change this? Absolutely nothing. What I realize is that the stop loss price is actually the entry minus entry times stop loss percent divided by 100. And so when you are doing this calculation right here, the entry actually turns to 1, and then this entry gets canceled. And so all you're left with is 1 minus stop loss divided by 100. And so I changed it over here, and all we need is account at risk, and then we just need 1 minus stop loss divided by 100 minus 1 minus fees, and then 1 minus stop loss divided by 100 times the fees. And now you get the price, the size that you should use if you want to risk 1% of your account with a 2% stop loss. You should use this. So if you want to use a 0.5% stop loss, oh, I have to define this. You have to use a size of 1,613, and so on from there. So that's interesting. So now I just have to think about, where do I put that? I think I would put that here because I need a stop loss, and here because you need a stop loss. Here, obviously, there are no stop losses unless the person says that there is. Which, I don't know. Maybe if I... size equals order size. So this is actually risk amount. Size does not equal order size. It's risk amount equals order size. Risk amount divided by this. So it'd be 1 divided by this should be the size. So this is risk. Risk. This is risk. And then here, risk equals account equity times order dot percent size percent divided by 100. What risk is this? How could I forget it? Risk divided by 1. How did I forget this? So here is where I should so it says size equals, I need to actually put that function. Here. So if I have 1,000 times this, so 1,000 times 0.01 gives me 10. Account at risk. Account at risk. This is well, whatever. And then this is order dot stop loss percents. And it's the same thing here. This is account. fees. It's fees. I think it probably needs to be changed to fee. Yeah, let's change fee. Fee. Here. Fees. Fee. And here, fee paid. Fee. And here, do the same thing. So everything should be good, which means that it won't be. So here, there we go. I don't even need that. Size equals order dot size. Like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now with this, oh boy. I basically have to redo this whole thing here. So size equals order dot size, price equals order dot price, fee paid. Do we even need this free cash thing? Huh. Huh. All right, so what do I want to do here? I want to get the size. I don't think I want to do anything with fees. Here, like the order size is just going to be the order size. I have to look through all of this stuff and find out what are we doing with the feed. Let's see here. All right, I honestly feel like I'm just gonna have to rewrite this whole entire decrease thing. So yeah, I literally had to delete everything because everything in there was wrong except this. So yeah, this is an absolute nightmare right now trying to change everything. Uh, Trying to remember all the things to change and all that stuff. But let's see here. I'm also trying to watch the Super Bowl a little bit while I do this. But okay, so I created the profit and loss. So we've got a realized P&L. Then wait, why is this stop loss price? It could be take profit price as well. What? Which one is it? I think I have to check. One problem I'm still thinking about is this problem right here, which is what if I closed out like 3/4 of my position? So I go from $100 to, and I'm at a loss. So I go from like $100 to $90. But then my new available balance, since I'm getting money back from the cash used, right? Because let's say I used $30 or something like that, or whatever it is. If I'm getting back like 15 from that, then that puts me at 95 available dollars, whereas my equity is actually in 90. So I'm a little bit confused on what to do about that situation. Oh boy, I think I have to stop for now. My brain is just not working. But what I need to do right now is call this function and test it out, see what happens, and then call this function by itself. So in this testing longs, I just need to go ahead and just send an order to the long and the account state to the long. So send it this order, send it this. Right now, I'm just way too tired. And trying to watch the Super Bowl. I'm just now realizing that I can't just send an order to the long increase because here the size is nan. So I'd have to send the size that I want. So maybe if I want to risk a percent of the account, 2% of 1,000 is 20. I do size. Might as well just go through the whole process. I am way too tired for this shit. Well, I don't understand why this actually works like this. Size is nan, yeah. I'm way too tired. Way too tired. I'm trying to undo and get back what I had previously, but whatever. I'm too tired. I'm done. Tomorrow we'll just start with yeah, tomorrow we'll just try to actually run it and just see what happens and do the debug cell. I'm way too tired.